Hello and welcome to News by Standards. Slowly but surely the proportion of the global ocean floor that's been properly mapped is rising. It is now up to just shy of a quarter of the total area underwater at 23.4%. Better seafloor maps help us with navigation and conservation among many other uses. Some 10 million square kilometers, 3.8 million square miles of new bathymetric data was added in the past year. This is an area broadly equivalent to the land surface of Europe. The update was given at the second UN Ocean Conference taking place this week in Lisbon, Portugal. Much of this additional data comes not from recent mapping efforts, however, but simply as a result of governments, institutions and companies agreeing to open up their archives. It's thought a further 10 to 15% is still squirreled away on servers, in part because the owners worry they might be giving away commercial or defense secrets if they release the information. But they needn't really worry, said Jamie Michael Phillips, director of Seabed 2030, the organization that is trying to coral world efforts to obtain a complete picture of Earth's ocean bottom. One of the messages we're trying to get across is that we don't require high resolution data. High res is nice, we can work with it, but low resolution is perfectly acceptable. One depth value is an area the size of a European football pitch, 100 meters by 100 meters or thereabouts, isn't going to give away national or commercial secrets. This knowledge is needed for a host of reasons. Sea maps are essential for safe navigation, obviously, but also for fisheries, management and conservation. Marine wildlife tends to congregate again around the underwater mountains. Each seamount is a biodiversity hotspot. In addition, the rugged seafloor influences the behavior of ocean currents and the vertical mixing of water. This is information required to improve the models that forecast future climate change, because it is the oceans that play a pivotal role in moving heat around the planet. At the moment, our knowledge of just over 3/4 of the planet's underwater terrain comes only from low-resolution satellite measurements that have inferred the presence of tall seamounts and deep valleys from the gravitational influence these features have on the sea surface. Water piles up over the mass of a large submarine mountain and dips slightly where there is a trench. It's super smart, but an underwater mountain that's hundreds of meters tall can still fail to show up in such observations. Seabed 2030, which is funded by Japan's Nippo Foundation, is encouraging anyone who ventures away from the land to switch on their sonar equipment and take depth soundings. And this isn't just about measurements from big ships. Small ocean-going yachts fitted with data loggers can also make a contribution. One of Seabed 2030's stars is the American adventurer Victor Vescovo. The Texan financier is using the submersible to visit the deepest places in the world's oceans, but everywhere he goes, his support ship switches on its echo sounder. "We have a map, the gap strategy," Mr. Vescovo told BBC News. "We're not a commercial outfit, so we don't have to follow the most fuel-efficient routes. When we go on an expedition, we ask, what are your proximity areas, and we divert a little bit to cover these areas." The former US Navy reservist has himself contributed over 3 million square kilometers. It's clear, however, that to come close to obtaining a full picture of Earth's ocean bottom, there will need to be a step change in approach and capabilities. Many parts of the world are so remote, few ships will visit them, let alone acquire depth data in those regions. To map these places is going to require direct tasking of autonomous or semi-autonomous technologies. There is a glimpse of how this will work in one line of data featured in the map at the top of this page. It was gathered by the sail drone surveyor on a cruise between San Francisco and Honolulu last year. During this 28-day voyage, the robot boat mapped 22,000 kilometers of sea floor. Sail drone is 22 meters in length, but truly huge autonomous vehicles are coming. The marine robotics company Ocean Infinity is currently building a fleet of 78-meter long ships in Vietnam. Regulations will probably mean they have to be lean crewed for the near future, but the goal eventually is to have them roving the ocean floor without anyone aboard. Their work would be overseen from satellite-linked control centers in the UK, the US, and a third location somewhere in Asia. Such ships could be sent out on long missions to map hard-to-reach areas at much lower cost than would be incurred by a conventional crewed vessel.